So it's funny. I didn't have a little cue card pulled up, and I should have done that too. But Zach Wilson had himself a little bit of a day. If you saw any bit of Twitter, it sounded like he was the second coming, and we didn't have to worry about Aaron Rodgers at all because we got this other quarterback that we drafted two overall. Everything's all hunky dory. He had a 40-yard completion, 40+ yard completion to Alan Lazard. Was it Alan or was it Garrett Wilson? Lazard, or I think it was Wilson.
Wilson, excuse me.
Wilson, yeah. And he apparently like knew ahead of time, like, okay, Wilson's going to be the guy that's going to be open. He just has to beat his guy, and I've got him one-on-one. And he looked off the safety, according to Robbie Sabo. So, like, kind of nice to see all that. I didn't get to see the actual play. I'm relying on Sabo from Jet X Factor to give me the play-by-play analysis that he had. But I like what we're seeing out of Zach Wilson. Now, we don't have a pass rush or anything like that. That was on 7-on-7 drills, so no defensive lineman. And Zach has looked good in the past in those non-pass rush situations. So I don't know. What do you think, Matt? We buying a little too much stock in Zach Wilson right now, or how you feeling about what we heard?
I'm happy for him. I could say that it's I think in everyone's best interest, whether you want him on the team or not, to root for his success. Because one, if he's sticking around, him figuring it out would be fantastic. But also him balling out in training camp in the preseason. If you wanted to move him in a trade, maybe you get some sucker GM, throw a higher draft pick than expected, and try to say, oh, we could salvage him. Arizona, Kyler Murray's out for God knows how long. Maybe we'll trade whatever pick and bring him in here and he could start for us at the beginning of the year. But you're right. As you mentioned, it is important to note that there was no pass rush and there were no shoulder pads or anything like that. But I am rooting for his success, and I'm glad that he had a good day today and supposedly yesterday too. Salah said it's been a good first couple of days for him, so that's good news.
Green Bean, how you feeling about Zach Wilson and his good first few days of camp?
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, that's what you want to see. I mean, don't forget, like last year in camp, when we were all kind of, we were hoping Zach in year 2, we were doing that whole thing, and then he got injured in the first preseason game and all that. We were hoping that the training camp inaccuracy and kind of wildness a lot of days wasn't going to be what he brought to the season. We were like, hey, it's training camp. So if we're going to do it on one side, you got to do it on the other, right? It's like tempered. I think it's positive. Like here's the thing. Like Matt said, maybe there's an opportunity to trade him or something like that. I think that's slim, but that's there. The better he looks, the better any options like that are concerned, right? But I think best case scenario is what we were all talking about when we were looking at which quarterbacks we hoped the Jets would consider bringing in, whether it was Jimmy G or Ryan Tannehill or Brissett. Or any of these, or Derek Carr, any of the guys that we wanted to bring in. Aaron Rodgers being top of the heap, but another, like a sidebar of Aaron Rodgers coming here was that he would be here for a short period of time. Zach and Aaron Rodgers are known to have gotten closer over the past 2 years. It's Zach's idol. So there's a lot of positives there that could kind of pay off in the future, which is that Zach, we get that reset. We get a new offensive staff in here. He doesn't have the stress of being, placed with the whole team placed on his shoulders and he can kind of learn. So, I mean, best case scenario is Aaron Rodgers plays here for, 2 or 3 years. We win some championships. We change the organization, and Zach is ready to be the Zach that we drafted at number 2 overall. So I think the more good reports, the better. That said, the fact that Jets Forever is in the chat saying it was an extraordinary throw, which means extraordinary. That's the way that word breaks down. The fact that we're calling an OTA pass extraordinary shows how bad he's been.